So just some reminders before we get into the video. First reminder is to make sure that you're keeping an eye out and an ear out for the key word for this lesson. Reminder number 2 is to make sure you're taking notes. Include the date, lesson number, aim, and standards to help you refer back in your notes. Let's get to it.
And welcome back. So we're doing lesson 5. Our aim for today is how do we use different strategies to subtract integers. So the most important thing we need to remember when subtracting integers is that we want to use the operation of subtraction and use one of our strategies to always refer back to our adding integer rules. So that's something that's really important. You want to refer back to your adding integer rules. So we're going to use a strategy called double bubble because you're going to be circling and bubbling the different values, and I'll show you what we're going to be doing in this example. So we have negative 28 minus 15. We know if we're taking away 15 from a negative number, we're going to have a larger negative value as our answer, but this is how we're going to get to that negative answer. So I'm going to use my double bubble strategy and circle the value with a sign in front. So I have negative 28 and negative 15. I'm going to separate those two and add the two negative values together. So we have negative 28 plus a negative 15. We have two of the same signs. So we're going back to integer rules. You're adding integer rules. So same sign, I'm going to keep my sign and then add 28 and 15 and get 43. Negative 43 is my answer. Now, it might look a little bit differently. Let's look at example B. I have here a negative that I'm subtracting. So I have two values of negative and negative, but I'm subtracting the two of them. Here's where it's a little bit different with your double bubble. When you see a negative and a subtraction sign together, like we have in this example, it creates a positive value because what it's saying is that I'm taking the opposite of negative 35. The opposite of negative is going to be positive 35. So it's negative 52 plus 35. It could be rewritten. A negative and negative or subtraction and negative make a positive value. So we have different signs. We want to take the difference between 52 and 35. Remember, this is where we refer back to our adding integer rules. 52 minus 35 is going to give us 17. And we always want to take the sign of the larger absolute value, and that gives us a negative 17 because our negative 52 has a larger absolute value. So the last part of this example is C. Again, we have that positive. So we have 3 minus a negative, which makes a positive 11. You add those together and you're going to get positive 14. Again, these two symbols, a subtraction and negative, are going to equal a positive value. Okay, let's try some practice examples. So for number 1, we have 3 examples in this one problem. We have negative 15 minus 6. We can apply our double bubble strategy. Take the double bubble, split it, and add those two together. I know that they're the same sign. I'm going to keep that negative. 15 plus 6 is 21. Negative 21 is my answer. With negative 12 minus 27, negative 12 plus a negative 27, and they're equivalent. Same thing. I keep my sign, add the two together, and I'm going to get 39. Negative 39 is my answer. So let's move on to the last page. Try these examples, pause the video, and check to see if you got it right. Okay, so we have negative 13 minus 13 is negative 26. We're going to split negative 13 plus negative 13. Same sign, add them up, keep the sign. Here we have the double subtraction negative. So we're going to say 43 plus 43, positive 86. And then we have again the same thing. So 17 plus 17 is going to give me a positive 34. So for number 4, I have a negative value, I'm adding, and then I'm subtracting or taking a negative. So I would suggest doing this step by step, following order of operations. I'm going to go from left to right. So we have your negative 32.2 plus 15.4. You have two different signs. So the difference between 32.3 minus 15.4, you're going to get 16.9. Your absolute value is, the largest is 32.3. So your answer is negative. And then you're going to add a negative 8.2, and here are your similar signs. So this is the next step that we're going to take care of. We're going to know that the sign is negative. When we add 16.9 and 8.2, we're going to get 25.1. So negative 25.1 is our answer. If you're finding the fraction form, it's negative 25 and 1/10. That is our answer for number 4. So that does it for lesson number 5. Make sure you write any of your questions down, or make sure you ask me any of your questions that you have from this lesson. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.